Hello everyone, my name is Olaoluwayimika Olubenle, and today I'll be presenting my research on a review of wireless power transmission to insect scale robots. So imagine for a second that you are a first responder and you're responding to an earthquake. You've just arrived on the scene and you're trying to determine whether or not there's any signs of human life. One viable option is to use robots, but think smaller. Think robots the size of insects. You could send these robots out to scour in between the rubble and detect any signs of human life. However, to ensure this smooth operation, we need to maximize our methods of powering these robots. Today, researchers have been able to prove the operation of tethered robots. However, because they are tethered, meaning connected to a power source, their range is pretty limited. Researchers have also been able to prove battery-powered robots. However, it's also challenging because there just aren't that many batteries at this scale that can also provide sufficient amounts of power needed for our robots. Hence, methods of wireless power transmission are being explored. Speaking of wireless power transmission, you can think of it as divided into two broad fields. The first are far field techniques, and the other are near field techniques. Far field techniques include things like radio frequency or solar radiation, which work over thousands of meters, whereas near field techniques include things like inductive coupling, which is what your Apple Watch uses, for example, and works over a few centimeters. Onto our results, we found that for the variety of microrobots reviewed in different domains or modes, such as the aerial mode or the terrestrial mode, we found that laser power transmission performed best in terms of its receiver power density, which is simply how much power this particular method of wireless power transmission is able to receive per weight. A challenge that currently exists, however, is that the laser, which is the transmission source, must constantly be aligned to the receiver source, which is our robot. This could be improved by ensuring that the robot is constantly tracking its transmission source. Moving on to the terrestrial domain, inductive coupling was another method that was explored. And the challenge with this, however, is the fact that as your transmission and receiver distance, your transmitter and receiver distance increases, then your efficiency or the amount of power transferred reduces. A potential way to combat this is to use horizontal relay coils, which help extend the horizontal range, or alternatively, increase the amount of power transmitted as your separation distance increases. So to reiterate some of our conclusions, we found that autonomously increasing the amount of power transmitted as your transmitter-receiver separation distance increases is a viable option, as well as exploring a transmitter-repeater amplifier system for increasing your range, as well as trying to implement multiple receiver coils on your robot in varied orientations to maximize coupling. Thank you.